What is up, everyone? Welcome to Weekly What's New, episode number 17. Let me stop this. There we go. All right, so we are going to talk about two topics this week, and I'm going to jump right into the first one because the second one is going to take basically the entire time of the video, and we're going to walk through some of the tones that I put together in my new QuadCortex. But first, the first topic is, do y'all remember when I said this? We have hopes of new Fear Factory coming in 2021. I guess we'll wait and see what happens, but considering the fact that Dino's posted that new Fear Factory is coming in 2021, they launched the GoFundMe. It's already well over the goal. We started getting studio updates. I'm pumped. I'm super excited to see what these guys are going to put out in 2021. Well, guess what? It's happening, y'all. New Fear Factory dropping this month. What's the date? April 16th, 2021. Fear Factory is dropping a new single called Disruptor, and Dino has been marketing it everywhere. I've seen him show up in my Instagram. Here he is on the Fear Factory. I believe it's the Fear Factory. Yeah, Fear Factory YouTube page. Is it the Fear Factory? Yes, Fear Factory YouTube page, promoting this as the new release, the Disruptor single, and also the Aggression Continuum album that will be on pre-order, starting on pre-order on April 16th as well. So there it is. We have new Fear Factory in 2021. Absolutely confirmed. April 16th, new single and pre-order, Aggression Continuum. So I'll absolutely be jumping all over this myself. Huge Fear Factory fan. Super excited about that. Hopefully y'all are too. So check that out when it drops. And you know, maybe I'll do. I'm not into the whole like reaction videos. But maybe in the weekly What's New that follows that release, we'll talk about the release. We'll talk about the single. And y'all can drop some comments on that video and we can talk through it and see what y'all think. But that's the first topic. Now, the second topic, which is basically the rest of this video, I just want to show y'all some of the tones that I have put together with my QuadCortex here. And I was just playing through a bit of this this new audio sample that I'm working on. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this yet. I know I needed to put together some new audio samples for the channel because I've been using the same audio sample in a lot of videos recently, and I know that it gets old and boring. So to spice things up and give you all something new to listen to, you know, for any subscribers who are checking out my videos regularly, this is a new audio sample that I'm working on. Super, super excited with how this thing is turning out. Every bit of the tones on this, 100%, are from my QuadCortex. That's the lead ambient guitar, the rhythm guitar, and the bass tone, 100% QuadCortex. All right, so the first tone, since I'm already on this patch here, or this preset, is my ambient lead tone. And just as a quick example, this is what I was playing through at the beginning of the video, but this is just a quick example of what it sounds like. So you can hear there's some reverb, some really, it's like a cave reverb, I believe is what it was labeled, as well as a delay I've got on there. It's such an amazing reverb. Oh my gosh, I love that. So here it is. We'll run through this preset so y'all can see it. And I keep getting this hiss when I turn off my volume, which is weird. I don't get it. I know I have an adaptive gate on here to kill the signal, but I don't know why I'm getting the hiss when I turn off the volume. It's kind of weird. But anyways, I'll leave the volume on. So the very first thing up is a parametric EQ, and we're just doing a couple moves here. So the first one is we're dropping off some of the low end with the high pass, not doing anything there, and then just boosting up a little bit around 1300 hertz, just about 2.5 decibels or so, just to kind of boost some of that upper mid range. And then we go into my neural capture of my incredible, awesome new Airise Effects Brutal Boost. I'll turn it on here so you can see the glowing eyes, which are absolutely awesome. So I am running through the Brutal Boost right now, but it is in bypass. I don't need the pedal on because I've captured it on so far, my favorite settings. I captured that in the QuadCortex, so I have the neural capture that I can just put in any one of these presets in the signal chain wherever I want it, and it's saved. It's there, and I don't even need the pedal really. Now, I know that with the neural captures and presets and all that, you can upload all these things to the cloud and share it with the public. I'm not gonna do that. So I have this capture. It's gonna be a personal capture. I'm not sharing that. It feels wrong, if I'm being honest, to do that. For me to buy and support Airise Effects, to buy this pedal, capture it, and then upload it for others to just use for basically free. I mean, obviously you got to buy the QuadCortex, but you're not paying Airise Effects anything. So that feels wrong to me. If you want a Brutal Boost, go support Airise Effects. Incredible company, make sick pedals. So just go buy one and enjoy it. But that's the Brutal Boost capture. And then we go into the Freeman 100 lead guitar head, which is obviously a Friedman. And then we go into a D-Cell front V30 with a dynamic 57 and ribbon 160 IR. And then let's see, we do the adaptive gate and the cave reverb, and you can see I've got a pretty long decay, 6.31 seconds, a 34 millisecond pre-delay, some dampening and stuff happening on there, but this is a beautiful reverb. And then this digital delay. And that is my ambient lead. All right, next up is my rhythm tone labeled brutal. So the very first thing is we're going into an EQ just as before, dropping off a little bit more of the lows, starting at 74 hertz, cutting out a little bit of the lower kind of boxy area in the lows at around 400 hertz, boosting up at about 1.4 kilohertz. Another boost up at around 8,300 hertz, and then we're cutting at 15K low pass there, and then we go into again my Airise Effects Brutal Boost neural capture. Then we do the adaptive gate and the absolutely incredible the EVH. I'm guessing this is the 5153. On the red channel. I mean, this thing just sounds insane. I mean, it's incredible. So that is the amp, and then we go into, let's see, a 4x12 CA traditional H30 with a dynamic 57 and a ribbon 10 microphone. You can see the placement there. And that's it. That's my brutal rhythm tone right there. Then the last tone, and I don't have my bass handy right now, so we'll just walk through it, and I'll solo it in the audio sample here for you to hear. But this is what I labeled Microtube's Insanity. So this is obviously a high gain bass tone, and we have, so this right here is one of the things that I think is truly amazing about what the Cortex offers, the QuadCortex. It has 4 inputs, and you can either select each one of those to be a different input, or I should say it has 4 signal paths, right? And then each one of those can be assigned to a different input. So you can process 4 different instruments at the same time and route them each to different outputs if you want. Or you can do like what I'm doing here for my bass tone. Because as I've mentioned many times in previous videos, I like to have a DI signal for my low end, 200 hertz and below, and then a distorted amped and IR'd signal, 200 hertz and up. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So you can see both of these signal paths are coming in from input number 1. So that we have down here on the bottom, we just have the high pass, and then let's see, we're high passing, or I'm sorry, no, this is the low pass. This is the DI. This is the low pass. So we're low passing at 217 hertz with a 42 decibel octave slope. So it's a pretty steep slope, just to kind of like really drop everything off above 217 hertz. And then a bit of an optical compressor here, just to kind of try and smooth things out a little bit. And that is my DI signal. That's that low end, the low end bass, the sub bass. Then the amp signal, where we have the opposite. So we have 244 hertz and up with, again, a 48 decibel octave slope, so another steep slope. So at 244 hertz and up is going to be going through this signal path. And then we go into just some EQ moves here. Really the biggest thing to call out is cutting out a good bit of, again, the kind of like those boxy frequencies, those boxy low mids at 468 hertz. And then see the adaptive gate going into, again, the opto compressor, just to kind of smooth out things a bit. Into the Microtubes VMT overdrive pedal. You can see the settings there. Then the amped super valve bass amp. Then again, a little bit more EQ. And this is because I found, as I was looking at the signal, the frequency response in like an EQ, a visual EQ in the DAW, the signal that was coming through after it goes through the amp, it's like it's adding a lot more of the lows in there. It was coming in all the way down to, it was registering all the way down to 20 hertz. And so I was assuming that I'm guessing the amp was adding all that low end that I was already cutting off in the EQ before it. So this EQ is essentially just to kind of cut off everything, again, from about 200 hertz and below. And then again, just kind of cut out around 516 hertz, some of those, the mids that I didn't want. And that just kind of cleaned up the tone. And then we go into the 210C dark glass with a 57 and a 160. This is the IR section here. And that is the entire bass tone. So I was super happy with the ability to process both the DI and the amped signal in one patch like this, and then I can just record the whole thing right in the DAW. One other thing I want to point out, which is really, really awesome, you know, I'm processing things in the QuadCortex here, and I'm recording it processed, which if I ever want to like reamp the DI signal, obviously you can't reamp something that's already been processed. But what I found, and as you'll see right here in the DAW, if we pull it up, you'll see I have a DI signal for every single one of these processed parts that I recorded. And that is because of how the QuadCortex routes its outputs, which is really, really nice. So if we look at these tracks right here, this just because these are handy, we'll just look at these ones right here. So this one, if you look at the input, if you select input number 1, that essentially the output 1 of the QuadCortex, that is your straight DI signal. It doesn't go through any processing. It's just straight from the instrument into the DAW effectively. So you have your DI right there from input 1. However, the processed signal goes into a stereo signal, and that goes into output 3 and 4, or in the DAW here, the input 3 and 4. So selecting that is going to give you your processed signal. So all I have to do to record both the processed signal and a DI so that I can reamp later, which you can reamp right through the QuadCortex, right there you go. You just have 2 tracks, and you select a mono input number 1, and then a stereo input 3 and 4 on another track. Arm them both to record, and then record the part, and you have a DI and a process signal. So if you ever want to reamp later, you have the DI to reamp. Absolutely amazing. I was blown away when I figured this out, and as you can see, I'm recording everything that way. So that was super awesome, super helpful, and hopefully that helps y'all out as well if you ever get a QuadCortex or if you have a QuadCortex. All right, and so since I mentioned I don't have my bass handy here, I will just go ahead and solo this bass tone so you can hear what this preset sounds like. I will warn you, this is probably more distorted than the tones that I've shared in the past, and I've shared some pretty distorted tones. However, I still found, even with how like distorted this tone is, there's still pick attack. You can hear the picking. You can hear every single note because of that lower DI that's coming through. And when you hear it in the entire mix, it is insane how awesome this tone sounds in the entire mix. So anyways, here I'll solo it and then I'll play back the entire mix again so you can hear just how well this thing, it sits in this mix. So here's just the bass tone. So you can hear that like upper, like the higher mid-range, like just really distorted, or distortion, right? So let's just add in the drums. And even when we just add in the drums, you can hear how this starts to just really sit well in a mix. So check this out. Okay, so just with the drums being thrown in there, like already it sounds great. Now, in the whole mix. I mean, come on, you can't deny how incredible that sounds in that mix. All right, y'all, those are the tones that I put together so far with my QuadCortex and my Airise Effects Brutal Boost. I've only begun to scratch the surface of what this thing can do, and already I am just completely blown away. I hope you're digging these tones that I'm putting together, and with that, hit me in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the tones that I've demoed here and the stuff that I've put together. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you dig this video, if you like this content, do me a favor, hit that like button right down below. Maybe hit share it with a friend who might be interested in this as well. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to my channel, I would ask you to please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of additional content similar to this coming up, as well as tutorials and videos for my In the Mix series where we talk about everything related to building a great mix. So if any of that might interest you, hit that subscribe button right down below, and don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And as always, thank you for watching and thank you for your support.